Joining us right now to discuss, Georgia Congressman and member of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, Representative Andrew Clyde. Congressman, correct anything I said. Feel free to add what you're thinking about this.
Bob, I think you're spot on. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that as a recipient of the IRS abuse myself back in 2013, when they came against my small business and confiscated $940,000 from me through the unconstitutional process of civil asset forfeiture, it is a grueling process. It is daunting to take on the IRS and to beat the IRS and actually to get your money back. We were able to do that and then go to Congress and demand reform. And we got that too. President Trump signed that into law July 1st, 2019. But for the average citizen, they can't do that. They can't afford that.
Right.
They can't survive the attack of the IRS.
Do you have any reason to believe that the IRS agents will be politically motivated?
Oh, absolutely, they will be politically motivated. The entire IRS right now is politically motivated. Just as we've seen on Monday, the FBI, we see political motivation there. The Democrats are not increasing the IRS because they think they're going to get audited. They're increasing the size of the IRS so they can use it as a political weapon against conservatives, just like what you saw back in 2013 with Lois Lerner. They are going to use the IRS and they're going to weaponize them. They're going to become more militaristic. You saw on their website that IRS new hires are going to have to agree to be able to use lethal force, which means they'll be carrying firearms.
Oh, that's right.
This is unconscionable.
That's just preposterous. I mean, I thought they were the guys that had the visors and the glasses and were just looking for numbers. So, yeah, like you're saying, some of them are going to be packing. Republicans, a number of them have taken issue with some of the provisions. That includes $80 billion in funding for the IRS of that Joint Committee on Taxation, suggesting the bulk of the audit revenue will come from Americans making under $200,000 per year. And folks, if you're a family and you're in one of the big metropolitan areas, that's not an unusual income level, Congressman. I'm sure you would agree with that. Also, House Republican Conference Chairwoman Elise Stefanik, she tweeted this. Move with me here. Okay. I don't have this on the screen, so I'm having to read it here. Excuse me. There are 87,000 new IRS agents. Get you more audits on hardworking Americans. I will be voting no on the Democrats' IRS army of agents. Another thing I was reading this morning, Congressman, that's kind of funny was they were saying it was going to be anti-inflationary because it would give the Federal Reserve less money in the system. Really? Have you ever heard of a tax and spend bill, depending on the Federal Reserve and the money supply, to bring down inflation?
A bill that spends $740 billion, adds $130 billion to our national debt, is not going to be a bill that takes down inflation, that reduces inflation. It will increase inflation. In fact, with the White House saying that inflation is at zero, and as you said earlier, inflation is actually at 8.5%. No, that is not what this bill is going to do. This is the Inflation Expansion Act is the proper name for this bill. And we should all be voting no.
It puts more money in the system. Yeah, it puts more money in the system. And by the way, almost everybody that has observed the effects of the recent $1.9 trillion COVID bill, $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, that's money put into the system. And that has had an effect, driving up inflation.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's what happens when you inject billions and billions of dollars into the system, free federal money, and that simply increases inflation. I mean, that's basic economics. Yeah. That's economics 101 in high school math. The Democrats just don't.
We're talking members of Congress, Congressman. As you know, some of your colleagues are not good at all that.
Well, they don't understand high school biology either, so how are they going to understand high school economics?
Well, that's true. We can't even define a woman. Congressman Clyde, thank you so much for being with us.